Hello and welcome. You watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Neha Khanna. The big story at this hour. BCCI sources have told NDTV that the board's president, N Srinivasan, has been given an ultimatum to resign. The vice presidents have told Srinivasan, either you go or we go. But sources close to Srinivasan have told NDTV there is no question of him resigning. Sources say Srinivasan is pretty sure that he is not going to step down and has in fact even said that anyone is free to go. They will have to seek a re-election if they want to come back to the BCCI. And BCCI Vice President Arun Jaitley, a key figure in the beleaguered cricket board, when asked whether he too could step down, said rather cryptically that there could be a significant development today.
So now after the resignation of Shirke and Jagdale, there were also rumours coming out that probably all the 5 vice presidents, including you might also step down in order to mount pressure on Srinivasan.
Wait for a day and you'll hear something significant today.
Okay. So there was a meeting which took place between you and Anurag Thakur last night. What are we expecting from that meeting?
Wait for a day, I said that. Wait for it today.
And tracking that story for us is my colleague Rika Roy, who now joins us on the phone line from the capital. Rika, Arun Jaitley, one of the 5 vice presidents of the BCCI, is saying something significant could happen today. We're told an ultimatum has been given to Srinivasan, but is anything going to change given that the man is still digging his heels in?
That's right, Neha, that an ultimatum has been given to Mr. Srinivasan. He has been told either you resign, he's been told categorically by the vice presidents of 5 zones, either you resign or we go, which means we could see, either of the developments happening today, either Mr. Srinivasan stepping down or the 5 vice presidents going. Given the way things have gone, Mr. Srinivasan is still very adamant, very reluctant to give up his post. And if that doesn't happen till the end of the day, then we might see 5 vice presidents resigning from their post, which means all the office bearers except the Joint Secretary Anurag Thakur and the President would have resigned by evening.
Right, Rika. So, of course, we'll have to wait and see whether those vice presidents are going to step down. Srinivasan making it clear that he has no intention of resigning. Rika, looking at the big picture, if these 5 vice presidents were to in fact resign, what would that mean for the board and what are the options that Srinivasan would then be left with?
See, if these vice presidents now go on to resign, then the Joint Secretary will have to step in and perform the duties of the Secretary. The Secretary, of course, resigned yesterday. He will have to call for a special general meeting during which voting will take place. Now, remember, Srinivasan is an elected president, so he has to be voted out. There has to be a majority against him. 30 members of the BCCI are going to vote. If Mr. Srinivasan gets 7 votes, he will continue to be the president of BCCI. Now, there is another technicality. When he is being challenged, there has to be another candidate coming from the South Zone or nominated by one of the associations in the South Zone, because his term technically is till 2014. This year, in September, one would have imagined that East Zone would have nominated a president. So there would have been a president-elect from September this year. But given that elections are likely, another candidate has to be nominated from the South Zone to take up Mr. Srinivasan's position. So that election has to be held and they have to prove a majority against Mr. Srinivasan.
Right, Rika. So the big question is, over the next few days, are we going to see N Srinivasan stepping down, or could we instead see the vice presidents resigning and an election taking place instead? That really is the big question. Thanks so much, Rika, for joining us with those details.